stars of this sport, you are legends of this sport. How do you think that you can help to players to get better conditions on these issues that they have spoken these days? Thanks.
Wow. You know, I think it was a last minute kind of decision, and we don't make any judgments on this because we're not really in the thick of things as far as the player council and what, the politics of the WTA. I'm not anyway, into the fire, and I don't think Martina is. I think we're kind of right now dealing more with self-care at this moment. So I'm not quite sure. I'd have to know all the facts, but I do know it was a last-minute decision, and I do know the other alternative wasn't going to be. The other alternative, I think, was Czechoslovakia, and that I don't think some of the players would have been allowed into the country that would have qualified for the WTA. So that had to go. That went out the window, rightly so. So, I mean, that's why we landed here, the WTA landed here, and, I think probably the first few days, I read about some of the complaints, but after a while it's like, okay, let's get on with it. It's WTA finals, do the best you can with the circumstances that you have, and, we have to learn from it. We have to learn from it and maybe be better prepared for next year. Prepare right now for next year, maybe.
Yeah, I think the players, I don't know what happened with the Czech Republic situation, because I've heard too many different stories, but Chris and I have not been in the loop at all, so we didn't know what was going on, and I would like to know a little bit more. But what I would say to the players, they need to be more in the loop themselves. I think there's only just 2 representatives on the board that represent the players, but the actual players are not involved in this decision making. And I think they only started paying attention when they were affected personally. So I think they just need to be a little more involved like we used to be, and pay more attention during the process making rather than after things happen already. As for this tournament, I think they've done a great job putting it together this quickly, but we should have never been in that situation in the first place. But the fact that the court stands and it's good, and by the way, when we played indoors in the Madison Square Garden, we played the match Monday night, the court was late Monday morning because they had a basketball game the night before. So everybody got maybe 20 minutes on the court before the match, so everybody's in the same boat, so you just deal with it. So I don't have any patience for that griping, but if the court's not good enough to play on because there's holes, that's another situation, but the court looks pretty good to me. I think we would have been happy to play on it. And I think the organizers did a fantastic job putting it together that quickly. It's just, we've been in this boat for 3 years, and I think something's got to give because we cannot keep doing this.
Yeah, I think communication is the key, and as Martina said, I think Steve and Mickey and the leaders of the WTA and the players have to maybe have better communication, get together a little bit more often in person, and start now planning for next year. And hopefully this won't happen again, although Cancun is beautiful, except for the weather.
Yeah, I think the communication is definitely a problem. The players don't seem to know what's going on and have not been kept in the loop, and I don't know if that's by accident or by design. So again, that's not in my wheelhouse, but there needs to be better ways to communicate and let the players know what's going on.
Hello. Hola.